Hi everyone, I'm the Idea Maker, and today, I know, this is kind of looks a little bit weird, so it's like, okay, what show am I doing? Well, first of all, I want to tell you guys that this is actually going to be a series that I'm going to be doing for my 5th grade teacher, and I'm doing it for her students, and I want to be able to not only feel like I'm going to be giving back to my favorite teacher who has done so much to inspire me to do things that are more different than I would be expecting on doing, but I also want to do this as a way to be able to give back to the next generation and be able to get to see how they react to it when I put this up on YouTube, and just to get to see that I'm recognizing them for their hard work, for their intelligence, for their kindness, and for their extraordinary measures that they take in order for them to be able to become the best students possible out of this 2024 to 2025 academic school year. Now, I want to do this too because that I feel like I'm going to get a lot of nostalgia just from being in her class and getting to visit and getting to help out as much as I can, especially because that I want to be able to give back to those who have helped me out in my journey throughout my academic years, both in public and private schools, to be able to help me to become the person that I am today. And I'm also going to be doing this in terms of I need something new. This is going to technically be the first anime that I'm going to be watching on the channel. If you guys don't know what anime I'm talking about, this is actually an unknown anime, well, fairly unknown. It's actually an anime inspired off of Christopher Columbus. I know, you guys are probably wondering why? Why that? Well, see, the thing is that I visited my teacher's class, and that's what they were watching for Halloween, and I thought I want to do something nice for them because they've been doing a lot of nice things for me. They've been giving me drawings, they've been asking me questions, they've been very amazing, and I'm gonna hand it to them. They are incredible students, and of course this would not be possible if it was not for my 5th grade teacher, because she has been extraordinary, incredible, and shout out to her, shout out to the students. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I hope that you guys will get to see what kind of input that I have on learning from this. I myself am an anime fan, and I actually grew up watching a few Christian animes, or they used to be on Christian TV. When I was a kid, there was an anime that was based off of Little Women. That's one that I want to be able to react to later on down the road because of nostalgia purposes. Same thing there was with another anime that I used to watch about the Swiss Family Robinson. That was another one that I grew up watching. And I feel like this is along the lines of that same path. So this Christopher Columbus anime is 26 episodes long from what I see, and I will be reacting to all 26 episodes for the students and for my 5th grade teacher and for myself and for the channel. And I know that this might be a little bit different than usual, but I hope that you guys enjoy this reaction because that I want to do something different. I want to feel like I can be able to do something that's completely opposite of what can be done on a reaction channel, and I want to be able to break that mold in order to show that these kind of reactions can be done. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into the first episode of Christopher Columbus right now. Nice solid intro. Episode 1, Columbus the Sailor is Born. Alright, let's see what's going on. Those are some really rough waters. I wouldn't personally want to be on a boat, but I know back in the day that it was very important for them to be on boats in order for them to do trade. I mean, we didn't have any cars, we didn't have any type of electricity discovered back in that day, so trade was always usually done by ship, done by carriage.
It's blessed. Hey, it's Genoa.
Genoa, okay. I'm gonna need some captions for this just so I can make sure that I'm saying the names right.
I bet you can't wait to be back at sea.
Not really, Christopher. When the ship's in her home port, her crew can have a bit of a break. And after this last trip, we need one.
Where'd you go? What did you see?
We sailed to a group of islands called the Canaries. We were out of sight of land for more than a week.
Interesting.
We saw a volcano erupt, and there's forests and waterfalls.
Right. And birds. The most beautiful birds I've ever seen.
Wow.
That's cool.
Blue and red, purple and yellow. As yellow as a field of daffodils.
I wish I'd been there. Well, what else did you see?
Nothing. Trees and birds, fields and a village. A few small islands. On the edge of nowhere.
Kind of makes a little bit of sense.
The Canary Islands is as far as anyone's ever sailed, and that's far enough, believe me.
Why stop there? The sea keeps on going, doesn't it? So why not keep on sailing?
Right.
There's nothing but sea. No matter how far you go, the ocean sea is endless.
It has
Not
to
really.
end somewhere. We all know that the earth is round, so if you
Right.
sail far enough, you'll find land.
Right.
Where would you be when you got there?
Someday I shall go and find out.
If I'm not mistaken, which I might be mistaken, I thought that.
What does
Wait.
this landlubber think he is? Go and find out.
You have a
What?
lot to learn, Christopher.
How about teaching me?
Maybe tomorrow. Run along home now.
Well, that doesn't sound nice. I was going to say, I thought that Christopher Columbus was the one that he ended up discovering about the world being round, and he was the one that proved that theory to be right, while everybody else thought that the Earth was flat. It's actually believed that Christopher Columbus never proved that the Earth is round, but world history shows how Greek philosophers Pythagoras and Aristotle were the first to discover the Earth being round and not flat. In addition, Greek philosopher and scholar Eratosthenes discovered the accurate circumference of the Earth by using the shadows that were cast on the ground by the sun from different locations. Man, everybody's so mean to Christopher! Come on, let up!
Christopher! Christopher!
Dad!
What are you doing? Come here and give me a hand with this.
Rats! Come in!
What do you have to say for yourself?
I delivered the fabric to the merchants.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you stopped off at the harbor on the way back.
Not another argument, Domenico. He apologized. What more do you want from the boy?
Yeah!
I expect my eldest son to be obedient. Instead, I've spawned an idle scamp who thinks of nothing but the sea.
Hey,
Listen to me, Christopher. You're the son of a master craftsman. You're going to be a weaver whether you like it or not.
Come on, man, he's got a dream of his own!
School, just another excuse for avoiding work.
Oh, come on, man! The kid wants to get educated. The kid's gonna get educated. He's gonna become something big. He's
Bye,
got dreams
bye,
of his
Dad. See you
own.
later.
Why don't you guys at least
Where
be
did he learn to
supportive
be
of
so
him?
pig-headed?
Of you, dear.
Pig-head! Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Like father, like son.
What? Yeah. That's great.
That's another thing that there were too. You know, back in the day, there was a lot of shops and merchants right on the street like that. I mean, we see that today, but it's not as much shown in the US. In other countries, yes. But it's kind of more or less likely to see that in the United States. In other countries, yes, you're going to see that. But you just have to be aware of the fact that different countries means different cultures, different type of economies, different type of lifestyles. It just goes to show on what works for them is exactly what makes their country prosper.
The sooner we get home with our cargo, the more money we stand to make. We had a fair wind in our favor. Come on board.
It makes sense because that depending on the rarity and depending on how prosperous something could be, then the more money that merchants would be able to get from it.
spices smell absolutely wonderful. They're from Asia, right?
That's right, lad. From India and China. The island of Chios is called the Gateway to the East.
Really?
Why do you go to Chios? If what you want is in the east, why not go directly there?
Oh.
Directly. Whatever gave you that idea? In
That's
the
not a
first
bad
place,
idea.
It's much too far. You have to cross deserts and mountains. And I hear they don't let foreigners through.
Oh.
What if you went by sea? You could sail all the way there and never meet anyone who will try to stop you.
But
Right.
no one knows the way.
Then someone will have to find it.
You think they will?
True.
Mm-hmm.
Someone will. They're never say never.
I want now!
Oh! Oh! Whoa! Oh, man!
It's okay, I've got it!
Okay, bring him up on land. That was scary. That's scary.
Dad's going to scold me again. Probably.
Christopher, do you really want to be a sailor?
You bet.
We could use an extra deckhand, so if you feel you're ready,
I'm ready. But
Oh.
Christopher, stay out of this, Bartholomew.
can you get your parents' permission?
I can, don't worry.
What do you mean you can? Your dad won't even let you do anything except just working for textile mills and stuff like that.
See, watch out for me!
Watch his dad get upset at him, okay? Watch. Watch and see.
Or get it!
But I want to be a sailor.
I told you.
Some of the best sea captains and navigators in the world come from here. I've heard you say they're the pride of Genoa.
Right.
We are not a seafaring family.
It doesn't matter. Giovanni has offered me a place on his ship and you won't have to pay for my training.
Oh!
And there are lots of other boys my age who go to sea.
Columbus is a name to be proud of. You'll learn to be the finest weaver in Genoa.
No way!
What was that?
Uh-oh.
Maybe we might let Christopher tell us what he has planned. Because
Oh.
even if he's decided not to become a weaver like his father, it doesn't mean he'll disgrace the family name.
That's the
There
sort
we
of talk that
go.
gives the boy ideas. I should have thought you'd want your sons to be respectable craftsmen like their father. Once
Oh,
and for
come
all,
on.
I forbid you to go to sea. Should you disobey me, you may no longer call yourself Columbus.
Wow. Well, that's horrible. Well, that's terrible. That's very terrible. You guys gotta know, parents have to be supportive of their kids no matter what. They need to hear them out. They need to at least listen to them. So come on, man. Dude, that's just messed up. I get it. From a business standpoint, it makes perfect sense. But I mean, if sailors could be able to help bring some profit and be able to put a lot of dignity into a family name, especially back in the day, and especially if you discover a brand new island, a brand new land, come on, man. You're going to be finding out some amazing things. What's going on with you?
Well, well, Mr. Know-It-all is nothing more than the son of a weaver.
Do you sail?
Yeah, this trip we go to the Aegean Sea. Say, hadn't you better run along?
GNC. Rude? Bro, you better come back and apologize. That's just rude. That's rude, though. What? Oh, they're leaving. Oh, they already left. Okay, I see. Man, well, that's crazy.
Oh,
What's going on?
Christopher, your father's been hurt.
Out of my way!
What? Uh-oh. Oh! Oh! Oh, man.
What happened to you?
Your father's politics are no good for his health.
What
Tough
happened?
luck, Domenico. It looks as if our beloved Fragoso party is done for.
It's not safe for us here anymore. Come, Octavio.
We mustn't give up.
There's no hope. Sorry.
But what happened, though?
It was the Adorno party that did this to you, right?
The Adorno party.
Give me that. I'm going to defend.
Oh,
I
no.
can't stay here and do nothing.
Do you mean what you say, son? Christopher? No.
Of course I mean it, Dad. I want to defend the family name.
But then...
Let it be now.
What?
What's that supposed to mean?
Let's let the fighting come to an end. The Fragoso party is through. I'm going to have to learn to accept that.
Okay. So, what decision are you going to be
But I
making then?
believe the world would be a better place if we'd won.
Oh, yikes. Well, I see a lot of that recently, unfortunately. You know, that's just terrible when it comes to the fact that politics and government are concepts that they divide people. I mean, come on! If we're true, children of God, why would we have to let politics and other ideas divide us? Can't we just come to some form of an agreement right in the middle? I don't know. It's terrible. It's just terrible.
Look lively, men. The wind is fair and we must catch the tide. I guess the lad won't make it.
I feel like he will. Oh, wait. I don't know, actually. So he's gonna be working in textiles for a little while then, I guess.
That's not how you load the cart.
Uh-oh.
On a steep hill, this load would tumble right off.
I'll fix it. I know how. I just forgot.
Is that the only way that you're gonna reunite with your son and actually be happy with him? Wow. The kid has
You know,
dreams.
your mother says you're just like me. She says we're two peas in a pod.
I don't think so. I really doubt
That's what
that.
got me out of my sickbed.
Really?
If I were you, I'd have been long gone.
Really?
Once I'd made up my mind, no one, not even my parents, could stop me. I'm as stubborn as a mule.
Right, Dad.
Yeah, we've all seen that. Oh! Oh! It just hit me. Okay. At least finally that you gave him a chance. At least the family let him go to, you know, pursue what he had to pursue.
Holy Mother of God, please look after Mother and Father and Bartholomew while I'm away at sea.
Amen.
I won't forget my prayers. Wish me luck.
Is he gonna try to jump onto the ship or something like that? Or oh, okay, they're still anchored to the dock, okay.
No.
Oh, come on!
Steady! Steady! That's the way!
Can't you guys just... Oh, no. Oh, no! Oh. Is he gonna jump on... Oh! He's gonna jump onto the ship? Oh! Jump or something, I guess? You gonna jump?
If you're coming, you'll have to jump in and swim after us.
Oh! Can he even swim fast enough to catch up? There we go. There we go.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Well done, Christopher.
I'm glad you could join us. You're just the kind of hard-working lad we need.
Oh, his brother? Oh! At least his family saw him sail off.
I love you. I'll be good and
There we go. At least he gave him the permission to set sail.
Christopher, I want you to have this.
it's your knife. I can't accept your own special knife.
You're a sailor and a fine one, and a sailor needs a knife. This was given to me when I was young, and now I in turn offer it to you.
Interesting.
I'll treasure it for the rest of my life.
Go ahead.
Well, I guess right now he's officially a sailor. And from that point on, we all know the history that goes behind it. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So, let's go ahead and have a little bit of a discussion about the episode right now. Alright, so in terms of reflection, it is bringing back a little bit of history to me. And there are some points in here that I know that I made over the course of the reaction, which, like I said, when it came to about sailing, what about sailors, you know, there were different things back in the 1400s that were making countries prosper. A lot of it was food, and then there were spices. Sometimes they would even go into precious gems like pearls, diamonds, and anything that they could be able to find. But back in the day, from what I remember in history, is that the more rare that a spice is, or a type of food or ingredient is, or the rarity of a gem is from a different country, the higher the value is in order for them to be able to make their country prosper more. And that's from what I remember, and that happens still a lot these days. So depending on the rarity and the amount that's there, that's what makes it go up. The value of it goes up because of that reason. And because of it, that makes it a lot more important when it comes to trade, when it comes to bartering, which I don't think that we do a lot of bartering these days. I think maybe in other countries there are bartering systems, which I'm not entirely sure. But again, I've known this history for a while, but with everything that's been going on, it's a little bit fuzzy for me. So with doing this series, it'll bring back more of these historical concepts back to me. And speaking about historical concepts, I mean, that was another thing about sailors, is that not only were they able to go and be able to find other spices, other food, and other rare gems and jewels, but it was also a profession for them, because you also have to think about fishing. You also have to think about the fact that when they would fish food, that's another thing that they would also have to consider, because if they ate the fish at that time, which of course that they did, I mean, that would also be up for a lot of money as well. And depending on the season, depending on how much that they get throughout their catches, that's another thing too. And then you also have to realize that being a sailor also is not easy, because you have to have the will for it, the strength, the stomach for it, especially if you had any type of sickness or any type of motion sickness. That was another thing that you also had to consider. And also, if you knew how to swim, that's a very, very important thing that you also have to have, is knowing how to swim. Because if you don't know how to swim, then there's a possibility that you could get lost at sea and drown, or any other different thing that could take a lot of time, you know, trying to get to make a fast decision about something. And it's just very, very important to know that when it comes to something like that, it is a crucially important thing to have. And you know, you also have to develop these different seafaring skills, like how to navigate around the oceans with the stars, with maps, with charts, with any type of compasses. And there's a lot of things that they were able to use in order for them to be able to navigate around these seas. But again, at this point in time, from what I remember, was that there were those who believed that the earth was flat. There was a lot of people back in the day that believed that the earth was flat and not round, which from that standpoint, it would make a little bit of sense. Actually, it would make a lot of sense that people would think that the earth was flat, especially at a time like this. And I definitely could understand where they were coming from, because we didn't really have any type of way of indicating on how the earth was flat or round. We had no indication or any science of it whatsoever back in the 1400s, especially 1490. What was this? This is in the 1400s, but they didn't specify the year, which we all know that Columbus discovered America back in 1492. But this was before he discovered it, so this was going to be years prior to it. So this is one thing. I know that this is something that it's going to be taking place over the span of several decades. And, you know, that's a big deal. Going over Christopher Columbus's life, and, you know, just having to navigate throughout all of understanding on how the sea works and how being a sailor works, and then taking these different ideas and then trying to turn them into a reality. And that's what Christopher Columbus in this series is then trying to show, that, you know, even despite when we feel like our ideas are not going to be approved by so many people, or that our ideas are something to be laughed at. I mean, he never gave up on his dream on wanting to explore the sea and explore the ocean. And that's something that we also have to consider. And another thing that we got to consider is the politics behind it, is that, you know, there were different political parties during the time that they were already starting to diminish because of ideas and because of ideologies, meaning that the you know, how people view things, also known as a point of view. I think that personally, as us as human beings, it's a shame that for us, we get pretty mad about any type of political ideals or any type of change, and that really does make things a lot more difficult for us to be able to see things at the same level. And it hurts us morally, and it hurts us mentally and spiritually and even emotionally, and if it goes to the extreme, then physically, because we're setting a seed in our thoughts and in our hearts and in our minds, thinking that it's okay to result to any type of argument, any type of violence, any type of acts that we're later going to regret. and come to terms that we are setting ourselves on a path of utter chaos if we don't talk civilly and be able to discuss things like person to person. We have to think about that along the lines of everything, especially in this environment that we're in right now. It's such a shame to see, people divided, cities divided, states divided, countries divided because of ideologies that could either help or harm people. So I'm always on the side of wanting to help people. It's just the thing is that with all of this, it reflects a lot about now. And speaking about division, the interesting thing about how, Christopher Columbus's father was very, very dead set on having for him to be working in textiles, which again, textiles was another thing that was very, very important when it came to being able to make a business, to be able to make a profit. That was one thing. Pottery, painting, that was another, several different things as well. Trade, like I said, and there's probably other things that I'm probably missing on those points. But from what I remember in history, that textiles was a big deal. And even agriculture and planting food and being able to sell those in the merchant markets and the streets, and be able to get to have people to be able to get to come together and be able to trade, to buy, to make other countries be able to have their type of food and be able to bring it over through trade and through a commerce system, and be able to create a good base on how they could be able to bring prosperity and bring a good relationship between one country and another on the spot. And again, these are a lot of different concepts that from what I remember back in history, and now now that I'm seeing this, it does bring a lot of educational history into this, and that it'll definitely help when it comes to educating ourselves into how things were like back in the 1400s compared to 2024. Now, by the time that I'm done with this series, it's going to be 2025. I know that that's what's going to be the case. But in this case, this is what it is in 2024. I'm really happy that I'm diving into a series like this because I especially now, because we definitely need to be educated on what exactly goes on in different countries, how we can be able to improve on our relationships here in the States compared to other different countries, and then other different types of relationships that we have in terms of economies, in terms of society, in terms of culture, and be able to bring that division veil that we have that's covering our situation in our country right now, and be able to lift that veil up and be able to bring unity and to be able to bring ideas to the table where not only could you be able to look at it from a civil point of view, but be able to go and discuss about it in a civil manner. But I mean, that's a little bit of a discussion when it comes to this episode. But I think this is a great start to an anime or to a series about Christopher Columbus. I still think anime because it was made in Japan back in 1992. And I definitely feel like this is going to be a fun series that I am absolutely going to love, and that I feel like it'll definitely help when it comes to understanding more about our current modern government system that we have, and we can be able to educate ourselves together and be able to bring in a fun way of getting to talk in the comments and have discussions and be able to get to see what type of things that we have now that they started with back in the day. But yeah, I mean, I absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to get onto the next episode and be able to get to share my thoughts, and let me know what your thoughts are going to be in the comments. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching my reaction to the first episode of Christopher Columbus. If you guys want to see more reactions like this, then please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys are watching on my main channel, I have Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, aka X, my Discord and my Discord server, and my TikTok accounts, which those links will be in the description below. And if you guys are watching on the Idea Maker for Kids channel, I have Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok for that account, which those links will be in the description below. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you all, stay safe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.